Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back to Wall Street Silver. Joining us today is Gerald Celente. He is the publisher of the Trends Journal. Gerald, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. I guess I'm all right because I'm alive and thankful for everything that I have, but I'm not all right with this state of the world and how we got a bunch of little crapheads stealing our freedom. But other than that, I'm fine.
Yeah, well, it's always great to have you on, Gerald. You said in a recent interview that governments aren't governments; they're complete crime syndicates. So, do facts and data do they even matter anymore, Gerald?
No, that doesn't matter at all. I mean, look what's going on with the markets. The reality is that the whole game is rigged. Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what, my buddy? They're too big to fail. You're just a piece of crap. I got to give my buddies, the banksters, money. Yeah, we're going to make them bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, any moron that calls it, the Federal Reserve, they're a gang. They're bankster. Look, that arrogant Jamie Dimon just got $31 million he made last year. This company was convicted of fraud for rigging the precious metals markets. They paid a lousy $900 million fine. Any one of us breaks the law to the minor degree, it's prosecution to the fullest extent of the law. How many times has JP Morgan Chase been convicted of fraud? Mm-hmm. At least 4. Mm-hmm. Did any of them go to jail? Do any of them serve any time? No. Then you look at the other mob. Oh, let's call it the military-industrial complex. Yeah. Again, the crime syndicate, morons and imbeciles call them the Republicans and the Democrats. They just voted to give the other mob over there, the defense mob, $788 billion. Mm-hmm. And who's the other mob? Hey, how about the drug dealers? Oh, no, Celente. They're big pharma. Mm-hmm. Big pharma? They're drug dealers. And they're telling us what to do.
Yeah.
And then you got big tech. Look at these little clowns. Could you imagine anybody taking orders from a Zuckerberg or a Dorsey or a Cook? Look at the freaks that are running our lives. No, maybe you like Nancy Pelosi. No, Lindsay, did you come out of the closet yet, Graham? That's my kind of thing. Yeah. Hey, how about Mitch McConnell? No, I like little Chucky Schumer. Look at the heads telling us what to do and destroying our lives.
There's a new Nancy Pelosi portfolio tracker account on Twitter. I don't know if you've seen this. Let me show you. It's become a very popular Twitter account that tracks Nancy Pelosi's stock trading and options trading for people online. She's been rated as one of the best portfolio managers for the past 20 years. Did you know that? Her returns are just insanely good. She's just a great stock picker. That's
right. Just like that scumbag Kaplan over there in Texas with the Federal Reserve and Rosengren. I'm sick. I'm going to retire now because you. You guys are doing dirty deals over here. Hey, we're the banksters. Oh, remember, once upon a time, there was this person by the name of Jesus Christ. He becomes violent. That's right. The Prince of Peace becomes violent. He makes a whip up. You couldn't buy him at Walmart's in the day. Mm-hmm. Goes over and drives the money changers out of the temple. Mm-hmm. 3 days later, the cat's on the cross. You don't screw with the banksters. All right? Yeah. And that's who's destroying our lives.
Yeah, the money changers. That's a classic one. I think this is one of the classic images in the Bible, or not in the Bible, but in history, is Jesus beating the money changers and kicking them out of the temple.
He became violent because he saw the destruction that these criminals were doing to the people. Mm-hmm. And they're doing it to us right in front of our eyes,
Gerald, wholesale prices in Germany, they jumped about 13.2%. It's the highest since the oil crisis in 1974. So now will we see a huge increase in gold buying from people in Germany?
Oh yeah, just go look again. Look what happened when they came out with the numbers in the United States on rising inflation.
Yeah.
You saw gold spike, what, $36 an ounce.
Mhm.
I've been saying this for how long? Yeah, interest rates are going to go up. Yes, the dollar is going to get stronger. Yes, when interest rates go up, gold goes down. Oh, yeah? Not when the economy goes down,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because when interest rates go up, this whole false game is going to collapse. That's why the liars like Jerome Powell were bullshitting for a year. Oh, it's only temporary. It's only temporary. Oh, and then you got that other mobster over there. Oh, if only a woman was in charge. Oh, yeah, you got Christine Lagarde. Yeah, the former head of the International Monetary Fund, and now the head of the ECB. Oh, no, we're going to keep pumping in cheap, dirty money. We're not worried about inflation. Oh, no, it's going to stay below the 2% rate. Oh, yes.
There's a funny joke about Christine Lagarde now that you bring her up. A central banker, a convicted fraudster, and a counterfeiter walk into a bar. Bartender says, "What'll it be, Mrs. Lagarde?"
That's hilarious.
But yeah, she's a socialist. She rose to power in France through the Socialist Party of France. And for some reason, they thought it would be a good idea to put her in charge of first the IMF and then the European Central Bank. Go figure. And she was also convicted of fraud for something she did when she was in French government a couple of years ago.
Well, again, they were all criminals.
Yeah. But
again,
yeah.
you know, George Carlin, the great comedian, I know his brother Patrick, he used to say, it's one big club and you ain't in it. And that's all this is. As I said, they're the bankster mob, the drug mob, the big tech mob, and the murderous military mob. And they're in control of the world.
Gerald, what is the most important trend right now that investors are missing in the market?
Oh, no, I don't think it's inflation. There's no question about it. It's inflation because they have to raise interest rates. When interest rates go up, the Ponzi scheme goes down. There's nothing else really to look at. And in terms of precious metals, and you also saw the spike in silver. It went up like $2.30. That silver is so low is ridiculous to me. And gold. Silver should be well above $50 an ounce, and gold at least 2,000. But again, what's sapping the money away from this also, and the reality of it, is the cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
Because a lot of young people, this is their gold and silver. And you know, they have a different understanding of life. So you look at the cover of the Current Trends Journal, and it's what? It's crypto and techno.
Yeah.
And it's the 21st century. So that's sapping money away, but that's temporary. Because as I say, and we've been right on the money with Bitcoin, what's going to stop it is when the governments stop it. If the governments don't stop it, it's going to keep going.
So the news this week was the CPI number that just came out, which was a little higher than they expected. At least this is what they'll admit to in the fake CPI of 5.3%, 5.4%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And none of us really buy that. We follow more John Williams with shadow stats, where it's probably closer to 10, 12, 14%.
Yep.
But, I just saw that the Social Security number for next year, the increase in benefits was just announced this week. It's going to be almost 6% increase for Social Security recipients next year in 2022, which is like the highest in, I don't know, going back 20, 30 years, the increase for the cost of living adjustment.
That's why they rigged the numbers. That was that slime ball Bill Clinton who started rigging the CPI numbers.
Yeah.
And again, I follow John Williams as well, Shadow Stats. And the number's much higher. And so, of course, I'm happy I'm getting a little bit more money.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, when you're looking at the inflation, how about the job numbers that came out last week, a week ago, Friday? And what they were looking between the numbers that I was watching was between 700 to 500,000 new jobs are going to be created, and 194,000 have. 4.3 million people quit their jobs.
Mhm.
And the reason they're quitting is because they're looking at their lives and they're saying, why am I doing this lousy, stinking, rotten job, making no money and having a terrible life?
Mhm.
When I
Yeah.
was a young man, they had these things called drugstores. Now they're drug chains. The drugstores are gone. They had stationery stores. They're gone. Stationery chains. They had grocery stores, gone. Grocery chains. Hardware stores, gone. Hardware chains. So the bigs, the rich, and the numbers are there, control everything. And all we've become are plantation workers on the global plantation of Slavelandia.
Mhm.
That's what it is. You work at Dollar General, you're making like $11.20 an hour. How are you going to live like, oh, I got a job at Walmart. Now they're paying me $17 an hour. Great, man. Oh, you'll go far. Oh, what is the cost of a new car? Just came out. JD Power. $40,638. Average price for a new automobile in America.
Man, that used to be a nice luxury car. Like a
What
low-
luxury cars?
Yeah,
When
yeah,
I was a kid,
yeah.
a Cadillac was 7,000.
Yeah. No, but just I'm like in recent memory, as recently as let's say 10, 15 years ago, a $40,000 car was a low end BMW, you know, a decent BMW, not an average car. It's really sort of crazy what's happening with these things.
So when we talk about inflation and the real numbers,
Yeah.
here, housing prices, right?
Yeah.
Average house now in America, about $360,000. $360,000. Oh, those prices, they're not included into the CPI.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right.
Owner's equivalent rent, which is still not quite showing up yet in CPI. We'll see if it ever does. But that sort of leads into the next question of, all these things, people dropping out of the economy, people dropping out of the labor force. One of the things I follow now, which I'm sure you do also, is the Atlanta Fed puts out a number called GDP Now, where they track where they think GDP is going. And at the start, just 2 months ago, they were projecting 6% growth. I think this is their projection for the third quarter GDP, which comes out soon. But it's fallen as low. They were a few weeks ago, this was as high as 6%, their projection for GDP for Q3. It's now down to 1.3% and falling quickly.
Yep.
And I've sort of been speculating on Twitter that we're already in a recession for Q4. And you know how these things are. We don't find out about them until hindsight when it's already happening. But what do you think? This trend seems to be headed that way. Do you think we might already be in a recession, Gerald?
Yeah. Again, by the way, we wrote about this, so the Atlanta Fed numbers in the Trends Journal. And so I'm very aware of it. You go out at night, the streets are dead.
Yeah.
They're dead. Dead.
You shut down half the restaurants in New York and put them out of business. Bad things are going to happen.
10 o'clock at night, it's dead. When I was a kid, they used to have these things on TV. And I grew up in the Bronx, and we social climbed to Yonkers. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Yeah, they're at home asleep because there's nothing going on.
We're out, man. They couldn't control us. It was wild as could be.
Yeah.
When I was a young guy, we used to go out at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
We used to go out at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
10 o'clock, it's dead.
Yeah. I remember I used to live I lived in France for a couple of months when I was in my early 20s. And that was it. It's like we didn't even go out to the bars until 11 p.m. That's when the evening was starting.
I know.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
And so
That's
when you're
awesome.
talking about a recession, yes. And people have freaked the hell out. They're still not going out.
Yeah.
I watch them walk out in the street, not a person around, and they got a mask on.
Yeah, you could see it here even because I live in Canada, Gerald, and every restaurant, nobody even goes anymore. None of my friends go anymore. It's almost like they killed the economy with what's
Yep.
going on. So it's
Yep.
yeah, it's pretty sad to see. So Gerald, looking back at silver right now, it's been hovering around $22, just about 23. So do you think there's right, like, now is the bottom and it's a great opportunity to get into it? What do you think?
Yes, I do. And I don't give financial advice. I want to make that really clear.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't believe it's where it is right now because, silver, there are no stockpiles of the stuff,
Mhm.
and they're using it in high tech and for the alternative energy. So it's not like there's not demand for the stuff, and that the price is so low is really puzzling to me.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way about gold, by the way, as well.
Well, they're having big days now after the recent CPI number. They're having a good rally day. We'll see if people are waking up now. It seems like the transitory inflation narrative that the Fed was trying to push has completely died. I think it's become a joke even to use the word transitory now. You're actually having some of these Fed governors, the ones who have not yet been caught insider trading, they're still there. They all do it, but not all of them have been caught yet. Some of these guys are coming out and making statements now saying, all right, inflation's long-term now. This is going to be around for a while. And it's like they're starting to admit the obvious that the rest of us have been talking about for 6 months.
Mhm.
And, but what I find interesting, they never acknowledge that monetary policy has anything to do with it.
Yeah.
They all just want to say it's supply disruptions. It's
Right.
short-term stuff
Right.
with shipping containers
Yeah.
off the, they won't say anything about, no, I don't see it. There's nothing to do with monetary policy.
No, nothing about dumping all
to
that
do,
cheap money.
nothing to do with the trillions of dollars we've created. Nothing
Yeah.
to do with that.
Yeah. Or what the governments are pumping in.
Yeah.
And again, you use the word transitory. See, that was the second word they used.
Mhm.
First, it was temporary.
Yeah.
Then it became transitory. Look, they knew it was going up all along.
Yeah.
They're lying about it because they know that when interest rates go up, the game goes down. And they're raising interest rates around the world now. Brazil, New Zealand just raised them. And look what's going on in Turkey. You're looking at an inflation rate. The unofficial inflation rate is about 40%. And the lira is now at an all-time low. And Erdogan had forced the central bankster over there to lower interest rates last month.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm saying. Going back to monetary policy, yes, the cheap money that's driving the inflation. All you have to do is look at what's going on in Turkey. That's the example I'm giving.
Well, then you look at examples like Lebanon, where it's far beyond that. I mean,
Lebanon,
beautiful historical city that's just been ruined by hyperinflation and corrupt politicians. And I guess that really shows, the end result of the corrupt individuals just completely decimating a currency Lebanon's probably an extreme example. There's a lot. They have a lot of other issues going on there that probably contributed to it also.
Oh yeah, Lebanon.
has
been going
but,
down
but you can see when you see countries like Germany showing 14% inflation or wholesale inflation, it's just 13.2% year over year inflation, the highest number since the oil crisis of 1974. When you see numbers like that, and Germany, even before this, had heavy gold sales. Heavy gold sales recently. You just got to wonder, is this going to take it up to a new level in terms of gold accumulation? And you see India is now importing silver and gold at much higher levels. Poland just announced that they're going to buy another 100 tons of gold. And they only have 200 in their reserves. They're adding 100. So a 50% bump in Poland's gold reserves. It's like everyone seems like they're preparing here for something, Gerald.
Here's what I say to people. Guns, gold, and a getaway plan. GCs, 3Gs. You prepare for the worst. If the worst doesn't happen and you're prepared, you lose nothing.
Mm-hmm.
If the worst happens and you're not prepared, you lose everything.
Yeah.
And I see the worst happening. And what I'm very concerned about is war. When all else fails, they take you to war. And, you know, what World War II, what did it follow? The Great Depression. Or what did that slime ball, he should be in prison, a little daddy's boy, George W. Bush, a little nothing of a clown if daddy wasn't Georgie and Prescott wasn't before his granddaddy. Took us into the Afghan war. What went on before the Afghan war? Oh, the NASDAQ had dove 66%.
Yeah.
The dot-com bust had just happened in March of 2020. We're in a deep recession. We're going to get that guy Osama bin Laden dead or alive. 88% of the people bought it, forgot about the dot-com bust, and then they created the next fake bubble, the real estate bubble, right in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
Right in front of your eyes. I talked about Turkey. Every time Erdogan, the president there, gets in trouble and his popularity is in the toilet again, it's either against the Kurds or Syria or someplace. So I'm concerned that there's going to be outbreaks over there in the Middle East. Again, when all else fails, they take you to war. And that's why I'm saying, as I look at it, you want safe haven assets.
You think they're going to try to, you know, what you're referring to, they create an enemy. You know, if there's an economic depression or economic issue, as a distraction, Erdogan in Turkey, you know, starts talking about the Kurds to his population. You know, so you think the Biden administration or the Kamala Harris administration will create an enemy?
They always do. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we should
They're
be
liars.
We should be on the watch out for.
Yes, that's what I'm telling people.
They invent the next military crisis.
That's right.
Yeah.
Again, when all else fails, they take you to war. You forget all about it. You forget all about the other stuff.
Yeah.
And again, we were talking before about the unemployment numbers. How about all the people that are being fired or quit because they won't get the jab?
Yeah.
All right.
That's the next.
Oh, and there's a shortage of workers already.
Yeah.
Look at Southwest Airlines. They canceled over 1,000 flights, and they blamed it on bad weather. And then the FAA came out the same day, and there was no issues from any other airlines for weather. And then so you wonder, what is the mandate really like halting certain industries? So
or even all these hospitals with doctors and nurses who are declining to take it. They're firing all these nurses and doctors, most of whom have already had COVID and recovered from it, so they're naturally vaccinated. They're being fired.
I know.
For you know, and then these hospitals are going to be complaining, oh, we don't have enough staff so all your heart surgeries are canceled. It's like they're intentionally trying to inflict these problems on the system.
They're ignorant and they're the egomaniacs.
Gerald, now Biden, he wants the IRS to look at every transaction bigger than $600 compared to the past where it was about 10,000. It's always been around 10,000. That's correct, Jim? Was it 10,000?
Yeah, 10,000 was the limit before. And now the Janet Yellen, nice. They want a new reporting requirement of $600 that has to be reported. And this is to catch the billionaires, Gerald. $600 transactions is to monitor billionaires or high income.
Yep.
You buy it?
Well, of course, you look at the numbers. What you saw, the numbers that came out, the 400 richest people pay less taxes than the people of Slavelandia. And you saw the Pandora Papers, how they're washing all this money overseas, whether it's a scumbag like Tony Blair, the little murderous bastard, and one after another. So the bigs get a total free ride, and they're doing this so they can get every penny from we, the people of Slavelandia. That's all this is about. And the same thing when they go digital with the currencies, where you spent it, how you spent it, what you spent it on, so we can get our share of it. Why do you think that they legalized cannabis? Just so they could get high tax dollars from it. You know, it's the same thing.
Makes sense.
Well,
first of all, it never should have been illegal. But again, now they've done it because they're taxing the hell out of it so they get tax money. Look when they closed down America. Oh, liquor stores were essential businesses. I mean, you can't make this crap up. Oh, why liquor stores? Because they pay one of the highest tax rates of anybody, from the people that produce it to the people that sell it to the people that buy it.
Well, you know,
So-
it's no big secret as to how the billionaires avoid the taxes. They do it. They own it through they make their money typically through capital gains, not from income. So raising income taxes doesn't really get the billionaires. It gets the upper middle class people who still make it. You know, doctors, basketball players, you know, guys making 400,000 plus a year get caught by higher income taxes. That doesn't take on the billionaires. Guys like Elon Musk and Bezos, Jeff Bezos, they make their billionaires from their stocks going up, and then they only get taxed when they sell some stock, really. And so literally they can defer their taxes forever. Or on $10 billion, you know, it doesn't take some billionaire who's made $5 or $10 billion. He doesn't need to sell $5 billion to have any luxury in life. He can sell, you know, 50 million, just pay a taxes on a small portion of his gains, and basically afford anything the material world has to offer. So everyone knows this, but the government still pretends it's all about income. That's what drives me crazy.
Well, you just, you know, with all due respect, you call them the government. They're not. They're a crime syndicate.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All right. So does that answer your question?
Yeah. They know.
Right.
They know, but they politely look the other
It's
way.
a crime syndicate.
Yeah.
Don't call them a government.
Yeah. And Nancy Pelosi, you know, with her stock trading, she probably has a lot of capital gains that she doesn't want to have to pay taxes on either. So she's willing to just let it go, right?
That's right.
Yeah. How can you believe that? She's been in government for what, 30, 40 years? And
Again,
for somehow she's worth $200 or $300 million now, right?
She'd be a nobody. Again, born on third base and thought she had a home run. Her old man was the mayor of Baltimore when Baltimore was one of the big cities in America.
Yeah.
You know, again, it's one big club and you ain't in it.
Yeah.
Gerald, currently right now, are you stacking more gold or silver? Because silver's at a great buying price right now. So are you switching over? I know in your last interview you said gold.
Yeah, I'm still, you know, to be honest with you, I got a lot of silver. So I'm going more in gold.
Where's the location?
right there behind.
Go down a light, make a left, go 3 blocks, make another right, then go another 6 blocks and make a left.
Okay, good.
And that's where you'll find it.
All right. Well, Gerald, we want to thank you very much for giving us your time, sir. You're always a pleasure to chat with, always entertaining, always a great fountain of knowledge. And we just really appreciate you, sir.
Well, thank you. And please let everyone know about the Trends Journal. There's no magazine like it in the world. Last week was 165 pages, the week before 176. People say,
wow,
how could I read all that? You don't have to read all of it. You read what you want. They're covering the world.
Yeah.
Well, if you read a magazine, you don't read the whole thing. You read what you want. So we have it from geopolitics, economics, high-tech science, cryptos, technocracy, on and on and on. And again, we tell you what's going on, what it means, what's next, and what you might want to do. And again, the motto of the magazine, think for yourself.
Well, the link will be in the description for everyone to find. And everyone, don't forget, please hit like this video and subscribe to the channel and hit the alert button. We really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gerald.
Thank you.